Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today we have the actual Elite 13 CM Punk. As you can see the Elite leg articulation there. We've got all the original hands and stuff of that nature, so I'm pretty excited about this, though I think the amount I paid for how messed up this box is, especially having all that kind of crap on it, kind of a damn shame, but it's a good thing we opened the figures here. If you were wondering, with Elite Series 113, I do have almost the whole wave now. I just need the Tiffany Stratton if I do ever decide to get her. We'll figure that out when the time comes, because I would love to have a Tiffany Stratton in the collection. So, yeah, enough said though. Why don't we get this Macho Man, yeah, CM Punk gear out of his plastic prison now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, now that we have the CM Punk all out of the plastic prison, now we can get into some of the action figure accessories. First things first, we of course got two different sets of hands. We've got a set of fist hands on the CM Punk already, and we've got a set of mic holding hands, and I'm sure you'll notice on not just the set of fist hands, but the set of mic holding or weapon holding hands, the finger tape is quite high on the fingers. Simple little mistake, easy fix, thankfully with the hands being interchangeable. We've got CM Punk hands with the, hand tattoos and stuff of that nature. We'll get into some CM Punk action figure comparisons here in a little bit. But, at least we got a couple of sets of hands for the CM Punk. We also got this nice Nexus armband. Of course, if you think about it, this was around the Nexus time period. Well, new Nexus, I should say, at least. So we get a nice little Nexus armband. I want to say a hell of a lot more accurate than what we used to get back in the day, where the logo was just ginormous. Now it's a lot more neat looking. It's not as, splodged on there, I guess. I don't know what to say exactly. But then, of course, we get a recreation of the CM Punk yellow fist with the lightning strike being caught. I do love this shirt iconically, just because I do not just have it in action figure form from the original CM Punk that came with, but honestly, I can't lie, I do just love having it in a recreated modern day Mattel form. Honestly, when it hurt, maybe if I say screw it, keep that basic Punk I ended up getting and taking the Nexus armband out of that and stuff, maybe I could run like a little new Nexus faction with CM Punk here. I don't know, but speaking of the CM Punk, we went over all the accessories. Now we can get into the CM Punk himself, and well, first things first, of course, loving the new take on this retro head scan here. You've got the brown hair. It's got a little bit of a darker beard compared to the hair, which could be completely accurate. I'm not going to say it is or isn't, but of course I am digging it. You've got the little bit of color in the chest tattoo, which I think was a bit more accurate for this time period. I don't think he had his chest filled out tattoo-wise. Of course, you got all the rest of the tattoos, though, going up and down the arms for the sleeves. One covered by the white elbow pad, which would be accurate for this figure. You've got the nice pink gear with the white stripes. You've got the CM Punk on the back of the logo with the white stripes, with the white stars. My bad, I did say that for the three on the front. And then you've got the big ugly yellow knee pads, which, oddly enough, they're not hindering too much articulation here, but I think I have at least a semi-fix on that for right now. We've got the nice yellow kick pads with the white stars there, and the white faces with the black soles. Just about as accurate as it can get. Of course, on top of the articulation too, you've got the double jointed arms with the upper bicep swivel and the shoulder articulation You've got the wrist swivel and wrist bend if I can get it to go there. There you go. We've also got a nice torso crunch, not too loose, not too stiff. You've got the waist swivel, which is definitely very stiff, no diddy there. Of course, we've got a nice front kick here. And well, I'm not gonna lie, at least he's kicking forward, but I already know the ordeal if I try to test the super kick problem here. We already tested the double jointed knees. Of course, he's got upper boot rotation, but unlike some of the other figures from this wave, because I want to say the Trick Williams was from this wave along with the Dragon Lee and stuff, he does not come with the ankle articulation that those figures do. But you know, it could be a hell of a lot worse. It could have just been a basic figure, you know, just sad boy day that unboxing was, but at least we had the actual figure in hand. Just sadly had to pay a little bit more money while I was waiting for the UPS pickup thing for the Amazon return. Honestly, I'm kind of just getting sick and tired of that because I don't recall any UPS driver knocking on my door or ringing the doorbell or anything. And it apparently says it has happened, and I guess there's only like one attempt they do, which is kind of fucking dumb. But it's just whatever, you know. I guess I'm just supposed to submit my whole day to get my refund of $21 because some asshole out there scammed me with a basic CM Punk in my original purchase. So fuck you, Amazon, for that. Maybe while I buy more figures through them, I don't know, but gotten fucked once, gotten fucked twice. I'm kind of hitting that no dice area, no dice indeed. But yeah, you know, enough said. Why don't we get into some other action figure comparisons now, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, now that we've got quite a few CM Punks sitting here for a little bit of an action figure comparison, along with the Macho Man Rey Mysterio gear, we can get into some of these action figure comparisons. First, starting off with this AEW promo gear Punk. I will say, you know, they are fairly like scaled, like quite equally. I will say the AEW one might have a tad bit more height here, but I also couldn't find my Supreme to do like an in-ring gear comparison, aka it's somewhere in my tote and I am a little too lazy to go grab it. Of course, moving Mr. Macho Man Mysterio out the way, we've got his first match back gear from the live event at Madison Square Garden, and well, I don't think there's really too much to be said here. The chest tattoos are looking kind of similar. At least in my opinion, I don't see all that much of a difference, except for the fact that the coloring on the younger Punk actually looks to be a tad bit more fresh, as whereas this one actually, I guess you could say, looks a little bit more worn and torn, or well, faded. But I also will say I do appreciate the fact that on this Punk, the tattoos are applied a lot better compared to both the new like return Punk, so maybe we'll see a little bit better tattoo application when it comes to the newer Punks here in the future. But yeah, you know, still not too bad either way. And then of course we've got the Macho Man Rey Mysterio next to the Macho Man Punk. Of course, similar attires, both done in their like own unique way, plus the CM Punk's like pink, I feel like maybe a tad bit more accurate, but maybe the Rey Mysterio's is. I'm not exactly too sure, as I can't remember ever like watching that Macho Man match off the top of my head, but that's just because I don't always go back and watch all the older stuff, so I can't really tell you when he wore it. I just know he wore it. Especially because I want to say a few of the games had that gear, like 2K14 back in the day had it, and I say back in the day because, you know, 10 years ago for me, and it's kind of crazy to think that that game came out so many years ago, and here we are still kind of working around some of the games to make them feel a tad bit better, at least in my opinion. 2K25 is a major upgrade compared to most years. But man, why don't we get the CM Punk all in his final pose and we can just give our final thoughts and get signed out of here now. Alrighty, you guys, with everything being said, we got him here in his final pose. And well, he definitely is at least holding this GTS stance, or well, mid-GTS stance really, really well. And on top of that, honestly, when it comes down to everything I feel about this figure, I'm absolutely happy that after so long we finally got this in elite form without me having to go out of my way and pay like a couple $100 or maybe a little bit less to get a nice Macho Man Punk gear. And I only say it like that because I know there are a lot of customizers out there in the game right now, but I'm sure their rates are not cheap depending on what you need. And I mean, at least when it comes to the CM Punk formula, it'd be out there. But who are you gonna hit up? I don't know. I'm not really all that used to customizers and stuff. I wouldn't know exactly where to go. Plus then, on top of it, my ideas may fall through due to money issues, as you never know when the problems come. But yeah, you know, either way, at the end of the day, this CM Punk, when it comes to the scale of 1 to 10 and the scale of 1 to 5 stars for the Dave Meltzer star rating, honestly, I'm gonna give this Punk a good solid 8 out of 10, and that's just because the hands are definitely a tad bit wonky having the finger tape, though I can probably find a good use for them. Wink wink, John Trademark, aka an action figure like creation for Feds that came out so long ago that of course Gene Addy still uses in his Fed. At least last I knew he still used them, if not he used them not that long ago. And I want to say Harrison and a lot of other big name Feds have used the John Trademark name. Of course, it wasn't realistically meant to be anybody, if I recall correctly, but maybe we could work something out like that, you know? And I mean, honestly, after all, the all-black Punk gear might be a pretty decent base for that, but yeah, well, we'll have to see. You never know when it comes to me. But we gave him a good solid 8 out of 10. I'm gonna have to give him a good solid 4 out of 5 stars. I know that's kind of like giving him a 9, but I think that's a pretty solid 8, maybe 8.5 rating as well. So yeah, on that note, we're gonna start signing out of here. Sorry, I kind of had a mouthful of saliva there from all the yapping I'm doing, but on that note, if you guys liked the video, feel free to like the video. If you guys did not, womp womp, I guess. But if you guys did like the video, feel free to, like the video. And if you want to, feel free to go follow, or well, go check out some of my other action figure reviews and or PickFed content. As you can see here, we've got quite a few different action figure reviews. We've got an unboxing. We've also got the PickFed content that has been going up in numbers, so happy to see that. We're at 51 views on that, and yeah, just go check something out. We've got plenty of content here from plenty of different idealistics here for AEW watchers, potential MLW watchers, along with the WWE fans, of course, and yeah, hopefully I'm gaining a little bit of a following for my own Fed myself, as we do get good numbers for some episodes for the weekly, but we usually do get some really good numbers on the pay-per-view ideas, which, makes me kind of wonder, should I just do pay-per-views instead and just kind of cut the weekly shows out? But, we'll figure that out when we get there. But yeah, on that note, if you guys also could, as you can see, we are currently at 355 subscribers. We're almost getting there to 400. We just hit 350. So, you know, if you guys could, feel free to subscribe. Not going to hit you with any in the arms of the angels. I'm not going to ask you for a donation for my dog or nothing like that, though I do have two. Yeah, either way, just feel free to subscribe if you could. And yeah, I don't really have all that much more else to say, but maybe if you guys would like to follow me on Instagram, I don't always mention that, but sometimes when I remember, I will. Anywho, yeah, on that note, have a good rest of your day, night, evening, morning, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I'm not in your time zone, but I mean, for me, it's almost time to go to sleep. So on that note, deuces, ooses. Yeet.